Give it up. You know, I don't know where I got this from. It's part of a skid or a pallet. It's been sitting in the corner. I don't know how it made its way over here to get in my way, but this kind of, reminds me of the whole topic discussion that I had last week on shop organization. If you haven't seen that video, go check it out. The card is somewhere here. It was me building my not-so-ultimate workstation, drilling station, but the video was more about shop organization. We need to take time to clear the clutter and get rid of all of the stuff that we don't need. I have old air compressors. I have 3 or 4 brooms hanging in the corner. I have all of this scrap wood from a previous project. It's all little cut-offs of MDF. I don't know what to do with it. You can't burn it. And I just hate to throw it away. I don't know. So let me get my job set up on the machine over here. I'm doing a test piece for a couple of signs that I'm making, and I'm going to continue to try to declutter this workspace. Pick up the dog toys. Now my overall mission for the next few months, like I said in my last video, is I need to, looks like that camera is pointing in the complete opposite direction of where I'm standing. Hopefully not. But anyway, the continuation of last week's video is to declutter my workspace. And as you can see, I have like a temporary charging station for some of my power tools that it was just convenient at the time to throw them here. I need to find a permanent spot for these. I have an old, 10-inch saw blade that is dull as a butter knife, but I need to get rid of it, but I know I'm going to regret it, but I have to get rid of this. I can tell you one thing, at least once a week, we are, in the house anyway, decluttering. We're going through all the closets, we're going through downstairs, even in areas downstairs that we primarily use for storage, we're cleaning that up, getting rid of all old clothes that we don't wear, shoes that we don't wear. I have a couple of coat hangers full of old ties, dress-up ties that are so out of style, and I don't think they'll ever come back in style, so I was forced to get rid of them. So I sometimes have my dog in the shop with me while I'm working. He kind of hangs out, but he also brings all of his toys in here with him, and he just annihilates them like a wildebeest. What do you want? You want to help me? Here you go. Oh yeah. Oh, good guy. Go get it. 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 So let me see what I can do with this. This needs to go. And I have some other non-essential items in my work area that need to go. I'm still working on getting rid of some of the old paint cans that I had from last week's video that I just, you hold on to these cans of used paint for so long that they're no good anymore. So why are we holding on to them? Why am I holding on to them? Also, 1999, it's been sitting inside my workbench for the past 12 years. Once in a while I would take it out and clean it and put it back inside my workbench. So this needs to go somewhere. I'll just put this back underneath for now. We're gonna get rid of stuff. idea. All right, let me get the test piece clamped on the workbed and get the CNC going. I will continue to start organizing and rearranging. So let me do that. Okay, while the CNC is doing its thing, and I apologize for the noise because I have my dust collector running as well, so hopefully you can hear this. I don't know. I have an idea. Let's see what we can do with it. Need some sandpaper. Multitasking. You know what? Alright, just about done. So, trying to multitask over here. So what I'm trying to do is just break the edges and remove any splinters. My overall goal is to have this look distressed, obviously, because there was really, when you look at this piece of wood, there was really no saving it, and there was nothing usable on it really except for firewood. So what I have this idea of, well, I have an idea. So it's going to be distressed. So to continue on with my journey of decluttering, I think I may as well do the back too a little bit. I think, you know, from all my years of experience in having tools around me, whether I was a child with my father or my grandfather having their tools around me, and me as an adult having tools all around me, I think I've come to the realization that, you know, obviously the old sentiment, you can never have too many tools, but you need a spot to put those tools. Try to say that 5 times fast. Put those tools. Hold on. Oh, it's done. Okay, get that put aside. So, to get back to what I was saying, you know, we all grew up with our fathers, mothers, relatives, uncles that had power tools or hand tools laying around everywhere. So it's only natural that, you know, we would kind of follow suit. And what am I looking for? And, you know, sometimes we get so caught up in everything that we tend to just collecting to the point of hoarding, you know, and all of a sudden we have all these tools, and everything that goes along with having all these tools just piled up in corners, especially those of us with small shops. So I'm trying to have to be creative, and that's my purpose right now. I'm trying to get to the point where I have a functional work area where everything is at my ready, where I don't have to, you know, pull 5 things off of the thing I need, or have to get on a ladder and, you know, hang from the ceiling to grab something that I need. So that's what I'm trying to get at. We all have those nuances about us. It's human nature. And I guess, you know, the learning experience is identifying that. That's the discovery, identifying that and trying to correct it. It's always a battle, always a battle. All right, let's see, what do I want to do? All right, this is going to be more of an arts and craft type project that I'm working on right now, I guess. It's kind of developing into that. I have no plans, I'm just kind of winging it right now, so that's kind of like the mantra, my mantra, you know, that's sort of like, hold on, kind of the way I work is, you know, generally anyway, if you look at all my videos that I have on YouTube, and they go way back, they go back to like 2008, and it's actually pretty funny because some of those videos I had another workshop in a different location, a much bigger workshop with, you know, a lot more tools. Full-on workshop. I think I was probably 2008 is when I started posting on YouTube, way back when. And I still get comments on those videos from 2008. It's hilarious. It makes me laugh because obviously in 2008, it doesn't seem that long ago, but you know, that's a while ago. So, you know, technology obviously has changed rapidly in the past 10 to 15 years, and you know, some of my videos that are up on YouTube are, you know, barely color, to be honest with you. Standard definition, and you realize there were no SD cards, there's no stabilization in you know, the video cameras back then. So I still get comments today on those videos from back then. Hey dude, you had too much caffeine today, it's so shaky. Hey dude, shaky cam. I can't help it. These videos were taken 10, 12 years ago. There was no such thing as stabilization, or, you know, even including, you know, the video editing software that we have today that we didn't have back then. I mean, you have to realize that when I was taking some of these videos, it was VHS was still a hot thing. And some of you may not know what VHS is because, again, you know, that was 15, 20 years ago. It's funny. It's just hilarious. I looked better back then anyway, you know, I had a little more hair. Alright, so, like I said, this is more of a, and by the way, just get back to what I was saying. I kind of got off topic. You know, if you watch all of my videos, they're not really how-to type videos. I'm not the how-to type guy. Not that I'm against it. I enjoy how-to videos. My style of this is more of a vlogging style of how I do things. And, you know, my process may not be right, may not be wrong. You know, go at your own caution. What am I looking for? Oh, here I am. With that said and put aside, I am looking for, let me grab one of these. All right. Yeah, that's fine. So, like I said, this is more of an arts and crafts type project, I guess, it's turning into be. And not much woodworking because, again, this would have been thrown on the fire pile, I guess, as it were. But so the look I'm going for with this is obviously a distressed type look because there's really no other alternative other than throwing it in the garbage. But I sanded it so there were no, you know, splinters or anything. Took some of the dirt off it but left most of it on because that's the look I want. And I do want to show you my favorite stain lately. It is, let's see here. It's a whitewash wood stain, and it's by Varathane, V-A-R-A-T-H-A-N-E. So I think I bought this at either Home Depot or Lowe's, one of those stores. Now I find, for me anyway, the cheapest brush you can find is the best brush for this application because you're not looking for perfection, obviously. You're looking, you know, to make it, to kind of highlight the imperfections in the wood. So I buy these cheap, they're $1 a piece, and every time I go to the local store I pick up, you know, a half a dozen of these at a time. This is usually what I use among other flavors of my arsenal of spray paints. I'll use the cheap brush, I'll let it dry, and then most often than not I'll apply a couple of different coats depending on the look that I'm trying to go for. There's no wrong technique in doing this. You know, it's all how, what look you're going for. That's all. Sometimes these are the best projects, you know, these impromptu little projects. And I'm just gonna coat the whole thing, you know, and like I said, it's gonna go on milky white, but the wood will absorb most of it and it dries almost to the point where there's just a hint of a white on there. And that's when I'll usually, the only thing with this is you have to be very careful because the splatter effect is crazy. It's very liquidy and it goes all over the place, especially with these coarse brushes. They'll just splatter it everywhere. And like I said, there's no wrong technique in this. Notice how I'm slowing down at the edges because I don't want the splatter to go anywhere. I guess that is a how-to, huh? I don't know. It's just the way I do it, but it's a how-to. How to put whitewash on crap wood. You see how this piece right here lightened up a lot? And usually that's a, you know, if that's the desired effect you're going for, I mean, that's fine. I may leave it like that, or may put another coat. So, and then I'll follow behind it with sandpaper and scuff it up again. I'm wondering if I should do the cross members too. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Alright, so what I'm thinking I'm going to do is I am going to put another coat right now on it just to get it to soak in. That's why I love using these cheap bristle brushes. You know, it's so imperfect that it actually works. What? 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 What do you mean what? 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 You said you were going to clean and organize. No, what are you doing? I never said when I was going to do it. You said that. Because I'm a little busy right now. Whatever. I don't know what to tell you. Okay, so it's had time to dry. And, oh, by the way, this is actually, I don't know if I mentioned this whitewash is actually a polyurethane as well. So it does leave a semi-gloss finish on the wood. What I'm doing now is I'm using a series of hand tools and sandpaper and, you know, metal objects to just kind of scuff up the wood a little bit. So what I'm doing is just removing some of the stain and you know, allowing the bare wood to show through on the edges, just to give it that look like it's been rubbing up against something for years, you know, and give it that weathered look. And I'm also using a wire brush just to kind of scuff it up, like you've hit it a few times with your lawnmower maybe. I took out some paint, and I am not too focused on, you know, what kind of paint. You know, is it semi-gloss, is it satin, is it matte? I want it to look like, you know, somebody over the years has, you know, painted objects on this, used this as a backdrop, and, you know, painted something else on it. A Rust-Oleum red paint, Pearl Mist. This looks like a matte black. So I'm going to pick out a few random objects. A lot of this will be removed. I'm going to sand this off a little bit. And again, all of this is going to be sanded back. That's what I want right there. That line. Just like that. Perfect. Alright, so I'll let this dry for about 15-20 minutes. I have an idea to kind of give some linear movement, an artistic flavor with some linear movement. I am going to use some black Pearl Mist. I'm going to mix it together and just kind of lightly go down the board. And the idea is to try to get the darkness into some of the grain. Mix a little bit of that. Just kind of lightly try to go with the grain, get it in the grain. I find that this type of finish is a lot of fun because we're so serious about finishes. Because you can really debate the process of finishing, you know, especially a fine finish. You know, if you're making a nice highboy out of mahogany, obviously, you know, a lot of thought has to go into the finish. And it becomes so serious, and some people actually enjoy that. I do to a certain point, you know, but you get stuck in that zone where it's time consuming. It really is. You know, some people spend days and weeks on getting the right mix. You know, but doing something like this, it's kind of liberating actually, because you're throwing everything that you've learned over the years about finishes out the window. Kind of reminds me of, you know, going into your grandfather's workshop and looking at his bench. You know, and you know, the bench is covered in years of projects, you know, paint spills, nicks and cuts into the wood. You know, it just, that bench tells a story, you know, that's the kind of look I like. You know, somewhat kind of like the old world wood shops. All right, so I think that's about it. So that right there, I have an idea what this is going to be, so I'm working towards that. I didn't ask you to sweep. Listen, you told me
I'm just doing my thing.
You were going to clean this area.
I'm doing my little
project. You told me that you were motivated.
I'm minding
to
my
get
own
organized. To
what do you want from me?
That's your mantra. You're going to put stuff where it's usable. I went ahead and did a quick sanding, and I did apply another coat of the whitewash, and I sanded that back a little bit. So at this point in time, I'm going to add some flavor to it. Rope, clothespins, little clothespins, some old lettering. I think that should do it. This will be quick. Do you mind? Okay. Okay, it's done. Anyone can do this project with a little bit of imagination, scrap wood, some rope, and clothespins, and a hot glue gun, I think. It was a fun project, and I know just the spot to put it in. So follow along with me and hit that like button, subscribe, and check it out. I'm going to go put it in its final spot. But first, I need to do something.
Worry about it. Don't.
It's like a Hobby Lobby reject.
Don't worry.
It's like something that Hobby Lobby got in, and they said, this is not something that we can sell.
It.
Let's just throw it up. That's all I'm saying.